Hey everybody, this is Pixis Designs back. I got a few more sweet additions to the Vamp. I've been working on a kind of like a camper top for it, as well as a fastback style to be able to use for my Wolverine attachment, my cluster missile attachment, stuff like that. All this will be up in my shop basically as soon as this video is uploaded and done. I am going to also utilize this video as a walkthrough on how to install it as well. So this video is going to be linked to whoever purchases these items as far as the Vamp is concerned. You will be getting both sets. I'm trying to play with my little camera here, so it's kind of going all over the place right now. As far as what's actually going to be shipping inside the container for your camper kit, I'm going to call this a jackhammer kit, and for those that actually like mask will understand what that means, because the attachment looks like the mask jackhammer. There's a reason why it does, is because I kind of modeled it after that. So, but what this thing actually has is you just remove the gas tanks. You can lift the rear glass up. I've had some people ask me if I can actually put glass in there. No, I can't, because just the way that attaches in there, a piece of plexi won't really stay in there that well. I can't make this thick enough to be able to fit a piece of glass in there. So there's that. And it's too bad that this won't have an actual flat floor because of that, you know, the stuff that's in there. But it works. It does what it needs to do. Makes it like a camper top. Put these back. That's the only caveat to this whole thing is this can't be opened smoothly without removing these gas cans. But it takes like 2 seconds to do. So that's that. Let me demonstrate how to remove this attachment and apply the what I'm calling the fastback attachment. I wish I could raise this up. Okay. So when it comes to the way this is actually hooked into the back of the Vamp, is there's like two little teeth on the sides, on each side, left and right, and there's actually two teeth on the underside that grips this whole, I guess you can call it a roll bar, but it allows it to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere as far as, because that thing, aside from the gas cans, that thing is pretty solid in there. It's not really going to go anywhere. Maybe if you drop it, actually I don't even know if you drop it that it'll go anywhere either. But it's pretty solid setup, which that's why it took me several generations to get this thing right, because it was too tight, and whenever you go to remove any of these pieces, they broke. And I didn't want that to have to happen whenever any of you guys actually got this attachment. I didn't want any of it to break. That's not to say somebody doesn't try to strong arm something and get it to break, because it can happen. It's not invincible, so to speak. So there is going to be a particular way in order for you to actually remove these pieces off of the Vamp. And that's why I'm making this install video, to install, removal, and reinstallation of the other components, just to make sure that you understand what all needs to be done to attach everything. So with that being said, the easiest method would be to pull that little hatch up. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to put most of your force up underneath on this top piece right here. Do not splay these side pieces out. Don't splay them out or try to lift them up, because if you do that, you will break the teeth that are in here. The only thing that you need to be moving is this piece right here. Okay, so just kind of grip up underneath it, and as you're pulling, it will make a noise, trust me. As you're pulling up, as you're pulling up on this underside of the glass, you're also pushing down on this back piece right here. just like that, and it'll slide up. So that's the teeth that are actually up underneath there. So, and these are the teeth that are gripping on the side, just like that. And so you're going to get this piece right here, the fastback attachment, these same two teeth. You're going to go up underneath the Vamp roll bar. And I'm going to do this again, showing you what it looks like from the top, just so you understand. Because I understand from the side, you're probably not seeing a whole lot. Just like that, that's what it looks like from the side. Just like that. And that way, any of these attachments will work that I've, well, it'll work once I've rotated them down. That way, those will work. And they should have their full articulation. I mean, maybe not so much vertical rotation, but because obviously the roof is going to get in the way, but you know, that'll all work. And the 50 cal guns do work as well. Let me pause it real quick and do that. Okay, so there's the 50 cal attachment. You get full range of motion as far as that goes. And then you just detach that. And you can put my my MK2 kit attachment on here. As soon as I can find the hole. That's the MK2 attachment. So it just kind of shows you what it all looks like. So it's just a little bit of a design choice. I mean, I know Gridiron pretty much released all 5 of their phases out, so you know what you're getting. You can have the heavy, super ultra realistic props for your Vamp like they make. I try to stick more into the vein of, well, not only what I can model. I mean, I can model that, but I can't print what I want to model because I mostly deal with FDM printers. So I'm really limited on how, you know, how much detail I can put into my prints, especially when it comes to attaching it with a lot of strength, you know. So yeah, remove that off of there, and I'll try and see if I can find a way to show this from the top on how to do that. I will be right back. Okay, I knew if I tried I can figure something out. So, and I will try my best to keep it in frame too. So again, back to what I was saying before, whenever you're removing this top piece here, do not pull up on these sides, don't pull out on these sides, because again, the teeth that are gripping the inside of the roll cage will break on the side pieces if you try to manhandle it. So what you're going to do is you want to lift up on the back piece and push down on the front piece as you're doing that. So the center piece is actually the easiest one to do that on, just like that. So that's removed out of there. And to put your camper piece right back on, you're going to put these hooks on the underside. I know what's going to happen. Somebody's going to end up breaking these. But I'm trying to do this the best way that I can. Instructions matter, and paper instructions can't explain this enough on how to do this. So you're going to get this on the inside here. Making sure I have this in frame. You're just going to push down on it, just like that. Come back around, and there's your jackhammer. What I think I'm going to do also is I'll probably, because I think that I have the room to do it, is I may start making these with holes in the bottoms of them, because I think that I have the room. That way this can actually be a dual purpose, and that sucks for you that have already purchased, any of you that have already purchased this setup. But I think what I want to do is I want to put a hole in this to actually attach to this gun embankment right here, because I think I have the room in order to be able to do that. I feel like I have enough room to do that. So that'll also be an option too for these going forward. Once I implement that, I will be sure and update the listing saying that this does work with the camper top. That way you know that any future ones that you'll be getting of these can be used with the Jackhammer style camper. So there's that. So again, let's show you what it looks like. I know this is redundant, but I just want to make sure you all understand how this thing gets installed. So just lift up the glass on it. You're going to push down on the front, pull up on the rear, just like that. And move that gun back whenever you do that. Don't do what I just did. Make sure this thing is either facing to the side or facing to the back, because if you try to do that in the front, it will snap those barrels in half. So that's that. Now, as far as repeatability, this working like thousands of times, I am not going to guarantee that. There will end up being eventually be some stress on these pieces to where they can break. And I am almost fairly certain that if you do end up, you know, for shit's sake, somebody's going to end up breaking the sides of one of these, I'm pretty sure it will still work, because as long as you have at least two sides fully attached, this thing's not going to go anywhere. Hell, I already know that this will work without these two attachments, because on my printer, I actually forgot to put supports up underneath there to be able to print, and so this really there is no grip to be able to do this, and this thing fits fine, and I will demonstrate that right here. So I mean, technically, I kind of don't even need these two teeth in there, but I just like to have that extra little bit of rigidity in there whenever it's attached. So see, that all fits just fine, even without those two teeth. So just make sure that you watch this video all the way through. And if you haven't, you would have already missed me saying that. So, so yeah, that's that. These will be going up into my shop. I've got 8 of each color. This is my brown color. I do have a light brown. I'm sure people are going to ask, will this work with a light brown? Let me show you the different color shades right here. Since this is a 4K camera, you should be able to pick it up very well. If you ordered light brown color in the doors, it actually may look okay. Actually, let me see that real quick. See if how this looks if you order the dark brown color camper top with the light brown. Let me get the light brown set up over here. Dang it. Getting quite the mess over here. These C-clips can be pretty tight fits. Now I'm probably going to edit some of this video just to show what it looks like, but So there's, I mean, there's a little bit of color variation here. Let me, I don't know why I just did that on this Vamp. When I got a brown one sitting right here, I could have done this too. Let me pull this up real quick. This is definitely a demonstration of how the repeatability of getting this piece pulled off. So you're going to pull up on the back side, push down on the front side, pull it up. I want to take these sides off right here. And I'm going to put this side on. Put this side on. And actually, let's try the fastback setup. Just like that. So, I mean, there's a little bit of a color shade difference. You can definitely see it. So, for those that are wanting the light brown version, be sure and order the light brown version, because it just depends on how colorblind you are, really. It can go with it. It's just, I would recommend you get the color variant that you actually ordered the original light brown in. So, I will have light brown, brown, and black set up in the shop at the time that this listing goes up. So. And these do work with backpacks. Obviously, I have that set up right here. And these window pieces do come out. They are somewhat of a press fit, just like that. I try to, somewhat make it as tight as I can without having to glue it in there. So I feel like there shouldn't be any complaints the reason why it doesn't stay in, because, I mean, unless you're like dropping it off the ceiling, yeah, I'm sure those pieces will probably come out, but as far as just being sitting in there, though, they're fine. So, yeah, there's that. Now I'm just mumbling. I wanted to show off one more thing that I've been working on. Let me throw off everything that's over here. Let me just remove this entirely. Let's talk about the SMS and how terrible the well, what did I do with it? How terrible something is, and I'll show you how terrible it is once I find that something. Okay, let's talk about how terrible this is. I have never seen a more useless hitch design than this. When I saw Lenny install this onto the SMS, and whenever he actually attached this to the HISS tank, you can actually see this thing bend under its own pressure. There's no strength in this setup. Just trying to accomplish too many things with such a flexible design didn't sit well with me on the way it looked. The finished, with it being finished like that. So I went ahead and redesigned. This will also be going up in my shop tonight. A hitching point for your SMS, MMS, HMS, whatever you want to call it, missile system. So we'll just pull that out real quick. This is just a clip-in design. This will go right into the same spot that the other one went in. And when you're switching out the different heights, all you're going to do is just pull that thing out, flip it over, and use it for the Vamp. Just like that. Easy peasy. So to show what that looks like, you just put the whole setup in there, lock it in, and that's what it looks like. I'm trying to get this in the camera. And the great thing about this is that it's also longer, so you can actually have your missiles won't be right up on top of the his tank. Let me go get the his tank real quick. Okay, so here's the his tank, and there's the new hitch style. And I tried to design it in such a way that kind of, you know, has a lot of detail in it, also while also still staying pretty rigid. Let me try and stand this. My camera's fixing to go everywhere here in a minute as I put the base on. Okay, so that's with the his tank attached to it. All right. Now if you wanted to attach it to the Vamp, you just pull this piece out, like that, flip it over, like that, just like that. So I don't know why they didn't make that just much more rigid whenever they installed all that. And as you can tell, this does work with my 3D printed Stinger steps as well. So, you know, once the Stinger is actually released. Right now it just looks like Joe, you know, stole everything, but yeah, here's that. So again, this will be going up in my shop. Tentative price, I'm probably thinking it's going to be maybe 10 or 15 shipped to do that. It's 2 little pieces. Again, shipping's usually around $5, so that price will be factored into the actual cost of the part. So, but yeah, all that's going to be going up in my shop tonight. The Jackhammer Camper, as well as the Fastback. Let me show you what all pieces that you're getting for the Jackhammer Camper. Let me push this out of the way. You go over here. You go over here. So this is everything that you're getting as far as the Jackhammer Camper. Here's the camper top. You'll be getting the sides. It would be helpful if you can see everything. The sides for the actual Jackhammer Camper, as well as the Fastback attachment. So you can remove this out and put this if you want to. Okay, so you're getting all that. And then you're getting a basket. That way you can connect the basket to the molly panel. I think that's everything. Yes. So this is what you're getting for 35 shipped. Yeah, cool. That's all I really have. Again, most of the stuff will be, or actually all the stuff that I just talked about will be going up in my store tonight. These things do take a little bit longer to run, so I'll be starting out with probably 8 each side because I actually have 8 already made. Again, I make things to order, so there is a 1 to 2 week lead time. So if you do order after the first initial batch of 8 is gone, it will take me quite a few days to recoup and get some more reproduced. So, I also have a question. I accidentally made some silver. Not sure what that will look like on the Vamp. I can test that right now to see what it would look like. Give me just a second. Okay, so here's the silver. Doesn't look too bad. I'm kind of digging it. I'd be interested to see what this looks like with the camper and the Jackhammer Camper and the Fastback edition as well. I mean, silver and green does go together. So I may have to run me a batch of this color as well just to see what it looks like. So that may be up in the shop too. But if if you don't see pictures of it, I don't have it. But you can always ask me and reach out to have a custom color done if you wanted to. There will be a little bit of a customization fee, of course, but that's about it. Okay, that's really all I got here. This is Pixis Designs, signing out.